everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been quite a while actually since I've posted anything onto the YouTube channel. Um, but I'm back. If you guys haven't been following me around as well, I've been streaming on Twitch over at twitch.tv/techybest. Um, I've been enjoying that quite a bit actually for matches and stuff. But for this draft related video, I wanted to just go over a rundown of the Masters division, or TGR Masters actually, of my team that I drafted recently. Actually, just at the time of this recording, it just ended yesterday. So yeah, I just wanted to go over the team, my thoughts over the team, what I would rank myself uh, as a coach overall, um, in the league. So yeah. Uh, Now before I start, I just want to go over like the quick rules of the TGR Masters because I know it's it's not complicated, but it's a little bit hard to follow because it is singles and also doubles. So during the drafting process, you have to think about Pokemon that would be good in both formats, or Pokemon that are good specifically in one, and then other Pokemon that are good in the other one. So yeah, let me just open the doc real quick because I, it's a good reminder for myself as well, um, that of how you draft and like all the different rules and stuff. So we had to draft 7 Pokemon, one from A tier, one from B tier, two from the C tier, one from D tier, one from E tier, and one from F tier. Um, and also a unique rule this season as well is that we can draft Pokemon from a lower tier. Like for example, here in the doc it says if we want to fill out the A tier pick, we can put a B tier Pokemon in it, and it will count towards the A tier pick. So if we feel like a Pokemon is a if we feel like a Pokemon should definitely like feel like an A tier, then we can pick a Pokemon from B tier or C tier and move it up to A tier. Uh, and can go for the same for everything else, except for the A tier pick. I believe we can't. Um, oh wait, no, never mind. I was thinking if we, I was thinking that we had an S tier, but we don't. It's just A through F. Um, so yeah, and then we also had 180 points to draft 3 additional Pokemon, and then these Pokemon are our Terra Captains. I didn't put the Terra symbol on this because I just wanted to go over which Pokemon are my Terra Captains. Um, Although it would be better visually, I think it just better going over the. I think it's better to go over the Pokemon itself and not, it's a little bit of a mystery. Let's say that. um, but yeah, um, yeah, that's pretty much it for as per like the drafting and stuff. Um, as for like the game rules, so for VGC, obviously it's regulation D, or flat rules, I believe. Um, Set at level 50 always, for VGC. And then as for singles, um, this time it's not uh well yeah, this time it's not 4v4 as it was in the Sword and Shield era. It's back to 6v6 for singles, running the 10-minute timer, individual timer, and 60-minute timer overall. We use competitions for that. And one little thing for VGC is that it's not 4v4. Sorry, it's not 4v4. I messed it up at the beginning. It's not 4v4, but it is 6v6. So it's a little bit of a different shift change for me. I haven't played 6v6 VGC in quite a bit. Doubles OU is kind of similar to that format, but not quite. So that's a little bit interesting for that. But yeah, overall everything else is pretty much the same. Um, yeah, I'm super excited about this season. I haven't played in the Masters format. I did join it in the Sword and Shield era, as a replacement coach, but that's pretty much the only experience I have in this format. So yeah, I just want to jump into the team straight away. And let me close this. And yeah. So first off, as our number one pick, we drafted Chien-pao. And the order that I'm going through is just from top to bottom in columns. So yeah, first pick overall was my Chien-pao. Um, I've used Chien-pao quite a bit, both in the VTC format and singles. I had Chien-pao in UGA, which my run didn't go quite well with that. But I think Chien-pao is interesting. I know people like to call it overrated, um, but I think it's quite broken. I think in both formats, especially in Masters, there's a specific reason why it was banned to Ubers as soon as it was introduced into the ladder on Smogon. Now we're not using the Smogon rules, well, some of them, but we're not taking like what's happened in Smogon into draft. But it's just a good thing to keep a reminder to yourself as to why this Pokemon is super broken. Um, yeah, I think it would definitely shine in the singles format more than doubles, just because it doesn't have to deal with two Pokemon on the other side, and instead it just has to face down one. We do have to be careful of priority though, like Bullet Punch, Mach Punch, stuff like that, that it can get O-code easily. But other than that, there's nothing much that it could take it out. It's just like from as like a strong Moonblast, like from Flare Main, or a Spirit Break from Iron Valiant. So just a few things to keep in mind about Chien-pao. It is frail, but it does hit super hard. Slap him a Choice Band, Life Orb, and it's just going to do a lot of damage. It is the fastest Pokemon on my team. One of the faster Mons this generation, only outpaced by the Electrodesui and the Regieleki and certain Scarfers as well. So yeah, I think overall it's a really nice team. I think, well, not nice team. Overall it's a really nice Pokemon to build around. I think it can work. I like again. I just have to be careful of like priority moves and strong special attacks coming in my direction. So second overall, I decided to get Volcanion, and this is the first of my 3 Terra Captains. I decided to make Volcanion a ground and grass type. Yes, the Terra type doesn't have to be stab. It can be 2 different types. So I decided to go with ground and grass. I think both of those types together, it's a good defensive core, especially for Volcanion. I think it's a really strong mythical. Yes, it is a mythical. I'm pretty sure it's a mythical. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But yeah, it's really strong for its stats. Like its defensive stat is like pretty high. I'm pretty sure it's at 130. I can check on Showdown here. No, defense is at 120. I was really close, but its special attack is really high at 130, and its attack stat at 110 is really nice. Really solid next to the Chien-pao and doubles. Its only diminishing part is its speed at 70, but that's pretty manageable, and it can be alright under Tailwind, which we do have. And 90 special defense is nothing to scoff at either. Slap like an Assault Vest, and it just becomes insanely bulky. Even behind screens as well. So yeah, overall really strong Pokemon. Haven't used Volcanion before, so I decided to try it out. And I think it fits really well on this team. So next up we have I wanted to say Jigglypuff, but it's not Jigglypuff. It's Screamtail. Or one of the Paradox Pokemon I haven't drafted yet this generation, and I wanted to try it out here. Really solid C tier, actually, really good C tier value. Oh yeah, forgot to say, Chien-pao is A tier, and Volcanion is my B tier, and Screamtail is my C tier, or one of my 2 C tiers. But yeah, overall, really bulky Pokemon. Even with the booster energy, like we can boost our speed, we can boost our special defense, even our defense, I believe, as well, if it's high enough. Well, probably not. We would have to get rid of a lot of our Spadef to make defense higher with boost energy, but either way, like, it's really strong. Its attack and special attack is a little bit concerning because they're both base 65, but that's perfectly fine. You can like run a mix set if you really wanted to, but it's mostly there for utility. decent speed at 111. Really awkward speed tier, honestly, but it works. It's over a base 100. That's all that matters. Um, but yeah, really strong utility moves. Gets Stealth Rocks, has Thunder Wave, has Encore, has various other good utility moves. And can even set up by itself as well with Calm Mind, I'm pretty sure. And also gets Pivoting Move with Baton Pass. But yeah, it has two good like self-proccing moves like Bulk Up and Calm Mind. And also gets Disable, gets Perish Song, but not really something I want to use. And like I mentioned, it gets Stealth Rocks and Thunder Wave. It has double screens as well, so that's something that was something I was looking at in this Pokemon, and that's something I wanted to use. So yeah, overall, really good utility Pokemon. I'm excited to use it. There's various other good tech moves that I wanted to take advantage of, so you guys will have to see that during the season, and my opponents will have to see that during the season as well. So yeah, really strong Pokemon, really good utility. Excited to use it. Let's move on. So for my fourth pick, I decided to go down to the D tier section of the board, and I decided to pick up my second Terra Captain in the Regidrago. Yes, Regidrago, a little bit underrated. I think it's really strong, and this is, like I mentioned, my second Terra Captain. I decided to make it Terra Steel, which is a really common typing for it, and Terra Ghost. I noticed at this point that I had no solid way of hitting ghost types. I ended up picking Pokemon later on to deal with ghost types, but this is one of my main ways of dealing with them outside of raw damage. Terra Ghost allows me to hit those ghost types alongside Chien-pao, and Terra Steel allows me to hit those fairy types that kind of destroy it if I ever need it. And like I mentioned, I do have to be careful of like fighting types, priority moves, stuff like that. And it's not the bulkiest Pokemon in the world. It has trash defenses, but behind screens it can be pretty bulky. And if I invest everything into defenses, it's going to be pretty bulky usually. So yeah, I'm excited to try it out. I think Dragon Energy is pretty spammable if I can keep it healthy. We have ways of keeping it healthy. So yeah, excited to use it. We'll see how it goes. Decent speed, monstrous special attacking stat. Yeah, there's nothing really much to say about it. Its move pool is kind of a little bit diminishing. Like it has obviously all the dragon stat that it can have. It has Earth Power and Terra Blast, and outside of that, not much. It's a good substitute Pokemon with leftovers. But like outside of that, it's not really good. But I'm excited to use it. I think it can work with this team. Yeah, that's it about Regidrago. Now for this next pick, at this point in the draft, I was kind of stumped. Like from here on out, I wasn't quite sure what to pick. It was kind of hard because like the first 4 picks are absolutely great in my opinion. But after this, it kind of gets a little bit shaky. And I currently trying to fixing this in grace period, but I think that the team that is right now is probably the best matchup overall for me. But next up we have the Enamorous Incarnate. This is my second time using this overall this generation. Contrary obviously allows us to boost up with Superpower, which is really strong, a good way of hitting steel types. Gets a good amount of moves to hit the majority of types that it's weak to. It gets Earth Power, gets Mystical Fire to hit those steel types, like I mentioned. Strong Fairy Stab and Moonblast, and good utility moves as well for doubles. It gets Tailwind as well, but we have a secondary Tailwind user if we ever needed it. But like I said, like it does get Tailwind. Gets Healing Wish, which is something that is good at healing other Pokemon, but it does cost me losing Enamorous that turn. But something like with like a paired up with like a Volcanion or a Regidrago to heal back up to full health is extremely valuable. So having that move there in the back potentially to regain health is nice. Gets taunt, which is pretty good. Gets various other trains. It gets imprison, so we can do imprison tailwind stuff like that. So yeah, really strong Pokemon. I'm gonna go over the special moves that it has. So it has Draining Kiss and Earth Power Mystical Fire, like I mentioned. Gets Psychic, so it can hit those poison types. Sludge Bomb, and a really strong spread move for doubles in Springtide Storm, which has a 30% chance to lower my opponent's attack stat by 1 stage. Yeah, really strong move pool in my opinion. It could hit hard on the physical side as well, so yeah. I'm really excited to use this Pokemon again. I want to use it in the way that I want to. Last time I didn't have the chance of doing that, so yeah. We'll see how it goes. Also, I kind of wanted to make this my Terra Captain because it's a really strong Terra Pokemon. But with my first 2 Pokemon and looking at them overall after the draft concluded, I think that Volcanion and Regidrago are probably the best chance that they give me throughout the season. So again, I could end up making an Amorous a Terra Captain in the future, but for now, I think the Terra Caps that I have right now are good. This next pick was originally Lucario. I felt like a Steel type on this team outside of Regidrago with the Terra Steel would be good, but looking at the tribe chart later on, it didn't quite fit well with the ground weakness, and I didn't like it as much. So I decided to, during Grace, I decided to trade out Lucario for the Lilligant Hisui, a Grass and Fighting type, really unique typing. Well, not unique, but really good typing offensively. It gets a new signature move called Victory Dance, which is from Legends Arceus. Gives us a boost in attack, defense, and speed. So it's basically just physical Quiver Dance. Really good Pokemon in singles. Probably one of the main singles Pokemon I'm going to bring throughout this season. And the one unique move that it does get is the Fog, and I just remembered that it gets the Fog, like actually just right now. I just remembered that it gets the Fog, which was one of the things I was trying to aim for. And I thought I didn't have it, but until I remembered that Lilligant Hisui gets the Fog, I was like, oh well, I have it anyways. So yeah, like I said, gets the Fog, really good for getting rid of hazards for the team, because this team specifically is really weak to hazards, so having that is nice. As for the attacking side, it gets Leaf Blade, it gets Solar Blade as well to boost in Sun. We have ways of setting up Sun if we ever need it. It also gets Sleep Powder as well, so that's something that we can utilize in both formats. And also it gets Chlorophyll for an ability. Like I mentioned, like I have ways of setting up Sun, so in doubles, if I ever need to go into my fast mode, I can set up Sun and just go insanely quick and hit really hard with my Grass and Fighting Stab. So yeah, overall, really solid Pokemon. I do have to be careful of its defenses. Like, even though they're not bad at base, both being bad base 75, I still had to be careful of those things. And also, it can hit flying types with Ice Spinner as well, in both doubles and singles. So yeah, overall, really good Pokemon. I've seen other players use it to great effects. So we'll see how well I do with it. It's like I mentioned, like it's my first time using this Pokemon. I've seen how well it does on other teams, so I think it could work well with my team. Like I said, we'll just have to see during the season. Next up, I decided to go with another utility Pokemon. I decided to go into the E tier section and get my E tier pick, and it is the Pachirisu. Pachirisu obviously being the one of 3 Pokemon this generation to still have Follow Me. So that's really great for doubles. Has Nuzzle, has Super Fang. Those are just the 3 notable moves that it gets. I can go like a special attacker on this thing if I ever wanted to, like pair it up next to a Volcanion and just, spam Discharge with the Terra Ground if I ever wanted to, but that's not exactly the most ideal thing to do with Patchy. It's just mostly there to be a Volt Absorb. Can be Pickup, but Pickup is like useless in every single way, so you're most likely going to see Volt Absorb. But yeah, like it gets pretty good physical attacking moves as well. Like I mentioned, like Super Fang is good. Nuzzle is good. Like Gunk Shot can be useful as well. So yeah, various other good things to use. And like mentioned, for the utility side of this mon, we do get Follow Me, um, which is something that's really good. Also gets Helping Hand, both Sunny Day and Rain Dance to utilize with that. And gets Charm and Eerie Impulse, which is one of the good things about this Pokemon, is that I can lower my opponent's attack or special attack depending on the matchup. So yeah, overall really good utility Pokemon next to Screamtail. I think those two can work in tandem together. So yeah, we'll just have to see during out the season. I may drop it because there's definitely better E tier Pokemon left in that tier. So I have a fear like I don't really need Follow Me for doubles, or if I need a little bit more support in singles, then I will probably drop it. But for now, I like it. And moving on to my third Terra Captain and reaching down to the F tier section, I decided to pick up Oinkologne, the male, not the female, for those who are curious about that. I decided to pick up male. I decided to go for Terra Fighting and Terra Poison. Defensively, Terra Poison allows me to survive those fighting type attacks. Yes, it allows me to become weak to ground, but that's not really an issue with this team, I feel. Or not as much as anymore as it was before. But yeah, that's one thing to consider. And also, Terra Fighting allows me to become Stab with Body Press. It does get Iron Defense, but it also gets Stuffed Cheeks. Pretty sure it gets Stuffed Cheeks. Let me check it out. Yeah, it gets Stuffed Cheeks. So whenever I eat a berry, it gives me a +2 in defense, which is something that is really good in singles. I think it's going to be a really strong singles Pokemon. It can be good in doubles with the Lingering Aroma. Allows me to, whenever an opposing mon hits Oinkologne, it becomes Lingering Aroma. So I think that's something that you can utilize in doubles, but it's mostly going to be a singles Pokemon. Thick Fat Gluttony are both other good like secondary abilities. But yeah, overall, it hits pretty hard. It has 100 base attack. Special attack is pretty minimal, but it's usable. It's not the worst. 65 base speed is nice as well. Really slow Pokemon. But like I mentioned, like having the Terra Fighting allows me to boost Body Press. And various other things like, as Body Slam, Double Edge, Iron Head, Play Rough, Tantrum, Trailblaze, and Play Rough. So yeah, really good moves to hit opposing types. And as for the setup side for utility, it gets Yawn, which is really good, I think, for doubles. Has Rest Sleep Talk, so that's something you can use, that I can use as well. And like I mentioned, like Stuffed Cheeks allows us to get that +2 in defense. And I was wrong, it does not get Iron Defense, unfortunately, but Stuffed Cheeks is basically the same, except I just have to eat a berry, so yeah. But yeah, really good utility Pokemon, hits really strong defensively, so yeah, we'll just see how that goes. And now the second to last pick, I decided to go back to the F tier section. I wanted a better way of setting up Tailwind outside of Enamorus, because Enamorus, although it's good to setting up Tailwind, doesn't really want to waste a slot on Tailwind, so I decided to get Fletchinder, the second fire type on this team, technically, if I don't tear Volcanion, but again, it's there for Gale Wings. Gale Wings Tailwind is really strong. Initially, I was super worried that I didn't get Defog, so I wanted Defog tip Gale Wings in singles for it if I ever needed it, but with me trading away Lucario for Lilligant and having access to Defog then with Lilligant, kind of just threw that plan out of the window. So yeah, now I can utilize Fletchinder in doubles a little bit better. Pair it up next to the Pachirisu allows me to have guaranteed Tailwind set up. Switch out, bring in something like a Volcanion and an Enamorus. Regidrago or a Chien-pao and allows me to outspeed a bunch of teams. Again, I do have to be worried about Trick Room teams, but we do have taunt. We have various taunt users, so not too worried about that. But yeah, it can be good in singles. Like if I slap on heavy duty boots and just spam Brave Bird with Gale Wings, that's really nice. Roost is good as well, so yeah, it gets very good variety moves. But this Pokemon is going to be used in doubles with that Tailwind, Gale Wing stuff. So yeah, nothing else to be said about that. Alright guys, sorry, had to stop the recording. Was interrupted, but we're back now. And as I was saying, the next Pokemon that I decided to get for the final pick of my draft is the Overquill. Really good typing, being a Dark and Poison type. I do have a Dark type already in Chien-pao, but having a secondary Poison type, not named Oinkologne with a Terra Poison, is really nice. Has a decent speed stat at 85. Not the worst, not the best, but is really manageable in Tailwind. Only the defensive is kind of its like bad quality in the Spadef. But like I said, like that can be fixed like with AV and stuff like that, or behind screens. Defense is really good at 95, 150 attack stat is nice, and 85 HP is nice as well. And then has 3 good abilities. I may use Swift Swim. It depends on the matchup. Like if I go up against Rain Team, Swift Swim is kind of good there. Intimidate, it's always going to be the main ability, especially going up like physically based teams that don't like or don't appreciate Intimidate, is going to be nice. And Poison Point is good for the poison chances, especially like paired up with like Poison Jab or Barbarage. So yeah, really good. Really 3 good base abilities. So yeah, I guess good like utility has Toxic and Toxic Spikes. Toxic a little bit being more reliable than Toxic Spikes because you can get rid of that with Rapid Spam, Defog, or with the poison or with the grounded poison. So Toxic is probably the more suitable way for this mon. Also gets spikes as well. If I ever need a second layer of hazards. Aqua Jet is good priority. Gets Gunk Shot as well, along with Barbarage, like I mentioned. So, yeah, really good utility Pokemon. I won't name any more moves because I want to use some moves that I didn't know it had throughout the season. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I think it can work well. And like I said, like it being the main Intimidate Pokemon of this team is going to be its weight. Is going to be pulling its weight, most definitely. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for the team review. Let me know what you guys think about the team in the comments down below. I didn't want to drag on the recording because it's already long as it is. Now, overall, where do I think I rank my team against the other teams? There are other really strong teams, and I don't think my team is the best one. Now, obviously, in my heart, is probably the best one. But I would say my team is probably around middle of the pack, maybe towards the end as well. It honestly just depends on like personal preference. But I think my team is like a dark horse team, middle of the pack team, I would say. I think that's like a perfect example of what my team is. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the content. Glad to be back on YouTube for at least a little bit. I'm not sure if I want to record battles onto YouTube. I think I'm probably going to stick to Twitch and just post videos onto the server there. So I'll probably upload a few battles to YouTube and just link like the Twitch VOD of it, and you guys can look at that from there. But yeah, if I do ever post, stay tuned to that on YouTube. If not, just follow me on Twitch at TitToBest. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the recording. There will be a power rankings, but I won't be in it, unfortunately. There's going to be 3 other mods, including Pat Mac. So yeah, listen to their opinions on everybody's team. I'm sure they'll put a great video together. I'm really excited about that for PRs. But yeah, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoy the content, like I said. And until next time, guys, peace.